Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for joining me today. This is my Q&A videos that I do every single Monday, part 2. I'm a life coach. I help people heal from abusive, traumatic relationships, pain, emotional trauma. And I'm answering people's questions today that asked me questions last week. Any questions you have today, go down below into the comment section. I will answer them next Monday in the next Q&A video. If you missed part 1, please go watch it. I always give some beneficial, I hope beneficial information in the beginning of part 1. So let's get started right away from Krissa in Florida. Hello, Krissa. My BPD ex and I are still friends. I still care about her because she tried to kill herself and I don't want her to die, you know? I did know that was your responsibility. Other people's lives. That's a big one. I couldn't imagine having responsibility on my shoulders like that to make sure someone doesn't kill themselves. She is now suffering from eating disorders and in a facility getting treated. She has borderline personality disorder too. Cuts a lot, cuts herself, not eating, not exercising. I pity her. She looks pathetic. I just stay friends with her because she is a good and caring person. Good, scratch that. Most of us, almost all of us are good, right? We think we are, we're trying to be. What does that mean? And caring. How in the hell is this person caring? Caring about what? Killing herself? Destroying herself? Hurting herself and people around there? I don't know what you mean she's caring about. Definitely not you. How can someone trying to die this bad cares about you? No way. You can't care for other people that much more than you care about yourself. There's no way. She's so wrapped up in her problems, she doesn't care about anything except making the pain stop. Trust me. She's a great person, I'm sure. I guess. I don't know how you value or how you judge that anymore. But caring? No. Unless you can tell me something else she cares about that's not you and not her and not anybody else on this planet. No way. Even if she had a child, she doesn't care about the child. She's trying to kill herself. No way. I think suicide is one of the most selfish things you could possibly do if you have anybody in your life that cares about you. It's so selfish. I'm not judging people. Okay. Krissa, I'm not going to get into what she does and how she makes you feel and all that. You say, I just stay friends with her because she is a good and caring person. You said, I still care about her because she tries to kill herself and I don't want her to die, you know? That is, no. Somebody who is suicidal, we can't have them in our lives like that if they keep trying to kill themselves. Look what that does to you. You can't do that, but I want to bring something up. You might be enabling her, Krissa. Borderlines like this kind of attention. I'm going to kill myself. I tried to kill myself 4 times already. Look, I'm cutting myself. Look, I'm bleeding. I had a job once where I helped the public for several years. I was a manager of a store type business. And I had a borderline that would come in every few days and go, look, just bleeding down her arms. And I used to be like, oh my God, that's horrible. Till one day I was like, get the hell out of here and never come in here again. Then I found out she stopped doing it and asked if she could come back. I let her, never did it again. It's the attention you're giving her. I'm not saying you're causing her. I'm saying this will only stop when you leave her alone. For you, it'll stop. She might keep doing it. I hope I'm making sense. After a while, we think we might be helping someone. We think we're supporting somebody. We might think we're keeping someone from killing themselves. And we might be helping someone's addiction get better and all this. But we realize in the end, we're just enabling them. I don't know. I wanted to throw that out there. Okay? You think you're helping her. You may not be. This is dependency. This is all dependency. She's dependent on you and other people. Now, if you have a dependent relationship with somebody, it's never one way. Never. She may totally depend on you to feel better, to not kill herself, to feed herself, to take a bath every day. She might depend on you. But after a while, you start to depend on her. Trust me. And I'm sure that's what's going on here. I think you're in a dependent relationship, which means you're dependent on her as well. You believe it's your job, your responsibility to take care of this person. And you're not taking care of yourself. Nobody can be around this kind of crap. Now, her mother, if she was a child and her mother, I could see that sticking through it. But an adult, get help. Get help. There's help for people like this. And it's not you. You don't know how to help her. Okay? Leave it up to the professionals. Take care of yourself. Process emotions. How do I feel? What is it? Why? Can I do something about it? Do something about it would mean you wouldn't be around this crap. It's amazing when you tell a borderline, stop, how things change. You're worried about them. They're going to kill themselves and they're emotionally all the time. And you just go, stop. I'm not accepting that behavior anymore. And it stops. It's amazing how many times that happens. And you think that they're going to go kill themselves if you say that. It's attention-seeking shit. Cutting myself? My God. And they'll say, oh, look, I tried to commit suicide. Oh, 540 times? You tried to kill yourself? Attention. I'm not saying they're all doing that for attention. They do that to get their, a lot of borderlines go offline. They dissociate and their autonomic nervous system goes offline, and this can bring it back online, stuff like that. This is attention. Stop giving it to them so they can start giving attention to themselves. She's dependent on you, and you might be dependent on her. Okay? Thank you. Darnell from Illinois. Hello, Darnell. Again, can you describe the relationship between a borderline and a narcissist? People ask me this all the time. And toxic, sick, ugly, unhealthy, gross, dependent, damaging. How's that? I mean, I could go on, right? I mean, the borderline needs someone to help her feel better, and the narcissist will put the borderline on a, you're so amazing, and sit there and flood them with crap so the borderline feels accepted and feels better, and their emotions go, woo, their hormones, right? And the borderline's so exciting for the narcissist who doesn't care about anybody on the inside. Everything's external. I need to feel good now, whoop, whoop, money, sex, looks, cars, whatever. And here's the borderline, is all that. Doesn't even know who they are inside. Nothing in there, just all external. And that's what the narcissist likes. The borderline will sit there and tell the narcissist how amazing they are all the time. And the borderline will be abused by the narcissist, which is what they want. What they're comfortable with. The only thing they know. Abuse and neglect. I don't know how else to keep explaining that relationship. It's common. So is two narcissists. So is two borderlines. I know entire groups of borderline people. They're all borderline, every one of them. And they only want, you have to be borderline to be in the group. They don't all know it, but it's clearly obvious. They attract each other. Drug addicts get high with each other. Bars are full of alcoholics. We gravitate towards what we know, what we're familiar with. It starts, pull back. Go look at a city night shot and see how, a night shot of the world. And where are people? All like this, all together here, all together. We need each other. We're social animals. Your next question is this an example of a soul tie? I don't believe in soul ties, so I can't answer that. I'm going to say no. I have no idea what a soul tie is. I know what you don't need to tell me. I get it. But it makes no sense to me. Why would two souls be tied together forever? That's a bunch of crap. That's borderline crap right there. That's magical thinking right there. An example of a soul tie? Who cares? Fact is it's physically sick and disgusting and unhealthy. And it's killing. Someone's going to die probably. Maybe. Whether it's cancer or suicide or murder. A soul tie, I don't know what to say of that. I don't believe in that. Thank you. The letter A from Raleigh, North Carolina. Hello, A. I've made an escape plan for a long time, and now that it's here, I'm sad. I've been no contact for 2 weeks, and it has been so stress relieving. The mind just wants peace and calmness. There is days I thought I would never get out of this relationship. I hope to be strong and overcome domestic violence. Good for you. Good for you to take that very scary step and show yourself you're worth it. People have done this to you. People will help you. We need people. Just make sure you don't isolate. Ask questions, learn, accept yourself, love yourself. Okay? Good luck. Good for you. Christina in Texas. Hello, Christina. David, first off, thank you for helping me be stronger. You are welcome. How did you get to the place emotionally and mentally that you're at to help others? Where did your healing come from? You're such an inspiration. Thank you very much. That's so nice to say. And thank you for asking. My real hard work started several years ago. The last relationship I was in that was toxic and bad ended over 9 years ago. I went several years trying to, without any answers, I just tried to better myself and got in the best shape I could be in, and got rid of addictions and stopped partying and drinking and started eating better again like I used to, and just thinking of every possible way I could make myself a better person and feel better, make life easier. I didn't have the answers. It took me a few years, and then once I got the answers of what all this stuff was, I was able to start helping myself. I sought counseling. I've talked a lot to other people. A lot. I've talked about my stuff and my problems and my feelings and my past a lot with people. It helped me immensely. And then when I started really focusing on me, that's where the real healing and power came from. I learned about what bad people have done to me, and I learned why, and I learned who they are, and I started learning, why do I feel this way in adulthood? Why is my life like this? Why do I make choices like this? And I was able to connect dots between all this to my childhood so I could understand it, and then I knew how to change it. And these are the things that I'm trying to teach you guys. That's all my videos that I make. It's things I've learned. I have studied so much I can't even explain it. I have sat in college lectures. I have found lectures online. I've tried to study every aspect that I can of this. Whether it's, how did somebody become disordered? Why do people hurt people? Why do people put up with it? How do we become better people? All of it. I took several years. A self-educated person, I guess. I went to college. I majored in sociology, minored in psychology. I don't remember any of this preparing me for this. It's my self-education and my experience, not just experience. Mind you, all of you, your experience isn't why you can help someone else. It's what you did after, what you did about that experience is how you can help someone else. Not just because you went through it. It's I went through it and I did this. Yeah. Thanks, Christina. Thank you for asking. And I don't mind answering questions like this at all. Feel free to ask me more if I wasn't thorough enough, or if you are interested to know something else. Thank you. Edith in Quebec. Cold, frozen Quebec. Hello, Edith. Could we maybe have healing from a lifetime of narcissistic abuse through hypnosis? Only bits and pieces here and there of remembering. So you're having problem remembering, Edith, and you're wondering, could we completely heal from a lifetime of narcissism through hypnosis? Only. I'll say no. Could hypnosis help? I think so. I think it can. I think all these other things are supplemental therapy. That's what I call them, right? Whether it's acupuncture or working out or rapid eye movement or coloring or deprivation tank or hypnosis. It's supplemental to go along with talk therapy. Talk therapy is number one, and it will always be. Why? Because we are social creatures. This is a social problem. You're having problems socializing with another person. Should we isolate? No, we got to learn how better. It can't just be all one person's fault if you had a problem with someone else. I hope that makes sense. Hypnosis, I don't even know if I should suggest it, but, it's just such a delicate matter. We can be so suggestive, especially when we're vulnerable. Be careful. freaking be careful. Because I've had so many clients come to me telling me about what their therapist was telling them, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I got to reverse all that their therapist told them first. Because they don't have a clue what they're talking about. Because they have a 4 to 6 year education that didn't teach them anything about this. And they didn't go through it, and they don't know, and they're sitting there going, what you're telling me looks like this? Man, just do this. And it's always a quick fix, man. It's always a quick, go date again. Stop talking to him for 2 weeks, you'll be better. I mean, it's just, why did this happen? Because there's just bad people in the world? Fuck, yeah, I won't go outside either then. That's not it. Thanks. Laser 007 from New Zealand, hello. I was married for 25 years, and my ex-husband mask came off. He chased our son, he abused our son by text and sent it to his managers. Do we need to worry? It's silent now, and I don't know if I'm overreacting. No one has ever believed what we have suffered, including family court. This is a first. I'm worried because he's never been exposed. So your ex-husband, you're apart, and you believe he's being exposed now, and you're scared of what he's going to do. I don't know. Should you worry? I don't think you should ever worry. I wish we could abolish worrying. We don't need to worry. It doesn't serve us at all. Worry is simply within. Worry means I don't know how to handle this. I don't trust myself. But I will tell you, not just you specifically, but most people suffering from abusers, especially over time, we monstercize them. They become bigger than life. They become the devil, alien. They're not even from this world. You don't have a clue. They're going to scare me, and maybe they've been threatening you over years. Maybe they pulled a knife out on you. Maybe they told you they hurt other people. Maybe you've seen them hurt other people. Worrying is unnecessary. Do something about it. Just keep doing something about it. You're in New Zealand. I don't know your laws. But be sure, what are you scared of? Worry, you're scared, right? Or just anxious. So cure your anxiety. If it's real fear, do something about it. What are you scared of? Write it down if you have to. Be very clear. I'm scared my ex-husband will do this to me. I'm scared that my ex-husband, is going to come here and kick my door down and slice my neck with a knife. I mean, if that's what you're scared of, say it. You've got to say it. You've got to know how you feel, why you feel that way, right? So you worry. Worry sounds like fear or anxiety. Which one is it? Figure it out. Fear, you know what it is. Anxiety, you don't. Anxiety, there's things you can do right away about it because you have no control over what might happen tomorrow. You can just control how you feel about it, right? But if it's real fear, there's things you can do about it. You can protect yourself. You can go to your mom's house. You can get a lawyer involved, the police involved. There's things you can do, okay? I'm not going to suggest you worry. I think worrying is horrible. I think worrying is an emotion that shows people that you don't have a very good relationship with yourself. If I don't know how to deal with toxic people, always take advantage of me, people always, step over my boundaries, I don't know how to tell them no. So I'm worried they're going to do it again because I can't protect myself. Do you see that? If you had strong, clear boundaries and you've had good experiences, now you have confidence, there's no need to worry about someone stepping over your boundaries. You just say, stop it. It's that simple. Hope that makes sense. Thank you. KM from AZ, Arizona. Hello, KM. When I started this journey, I was on the same page. I forgot labels. Toxic is just toxic. However, the more clarity I have regarding my situation, the more I want to know exactly what I was dealing with. Why is this? This is so common. Something I like to do with clients to say, is this something that consumes you and you want to know? And I help them figure it out. I don't tell them. I don't diagnose. I show them. I help them figure it out on their own. And then we doubt it and we want to know. But I'll tell you this. As time goes on, as you become healthier, it becomes less important about that person. Okay? So find out. It's not hard. Go through the diagnostic criteria in the DSM. Check the boxes. It's easier to do with somebody else that doesn't know that person, believe it or not. And tell yourself and stick with it. We always doubt. My guess is you may not be focusing on yourself entirely. Maybe. Okay? That's when we focus on other people, when we're not focusing on ourselves. And that's something that we all are susceptible to doing. Codependency is simply focusing on other people, not me. Managing someone else's life, not mine. Giving people advice all the time instead of taking it myself. Okay? Joa from Belgium. Hello. Joa. Hope I'm saying it right. I apologize if I'm not. Correct me. Thank you for all your videos. You are welcome. Thank you. I came back to my ex-narcissist recently after 7 months of no contact. And she went out with a supply a second time with no explanation and didn't block me on social medias. Do you think she could hoover me again? How can I resist better next time? You need people. You need support. Hire professionals. Get a life coach, a therapist, a counselor, a cheerleading squad. Right? Hire a private investigator, a bodyguard. Won't let you do it. I'm serious. Imagine though. I'm being facetious, but imagine if you had a whole team. Yay, go Joe. You're amazing. You're number one. You won't do that. You're better than that. That'll help. Probably won't do it. So this is actual therapy. I mean, you're asking me, how do I do my job? It's like you're asking me, what do I do in an hour of coaching somebody? You know, it's too much to say. I get people start taking supplements to make themselves feel better. I start getting that person as far separated from the other person as possible. We get rid of belongings, we end contracts, all this stuff. And then we claim it and we announce it to everybody and we ask people to help us and we hire people. There's just so much to do. You're afraid she's going to hoover you again. What are you afraid of? Say it. Write it down. What are you afraid of? Her knocking on the door? That's it? You're afraid of you going back to her. That's only because you don't love yourself enough. That must be because you feel that worthy. Okay? Fix that. Fix your self-worth. You got to start making better choices. And if you can't do that on your own, ask for help, okay? Thanks. Okay, I'm going to try and fit, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to try and do it. Elizabeth from Idaho, hello. I don't want my ex-husband back, and I know him, and his new relationship is a front. But it still hurts to feel like everything he promised her, or everything he promised you is going to her. I have a lot of contact with his girlfriend because he refuses to communicate with me, and our daughter currently lives with him. I'm awfully sorry. Awfully sorry, Elizabeth. Horrible. I don't know how old your child is, and that would really help if you guys ask me questions about your children. You tell me how old they are. Huge difference. Especially if they're 5 years old, 15 years old, or 25. I mean, that's just huge, right? Adult, child, not responsible, responsible. If your daughter's under 18, go to family court so you can visit your daughter. I don't care what she says, what she thinks she wants. She's a child. If she's an adult, leave her alone. She makes her own choices, and if you don't like it, start taking care of yourself and stop doing this. No contact with him, no contact with his girlfriend. I can't imagine how that feels, talking to his girlfriend every day. Even if you can't stand him, it's just, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Go to family counseling, get a counselor, get a family lawyer. Get into therapy, coaching, get help. That's why we're doing this, okay? I can't imagine how awful that is for you. I'm sorry. Nicole from Portland again. Hello, Nicole. I'm starting to think some of my family may be narcissistic. Well, what would give you that idea? That you spent so much time with a vampire who thinks he's a vampire? Of course, you have narcissistic family. There's nobody that's going to stay involved with narcissists and love them, unless they're used to this. They've had it in their life. Because the new experience of a narcissist doesn't attract anyone. It's the old experience. It's the common, the familiar that attracts us. It's the up and down. They tell me I'm a piece of crap. I love that. They treat me just like my dad did, like my mom did. It's home. It's acceptable. How about that? Their toxic behavior is acceptable because my dad did it, because my mom did it. They made me feel that way. Of course it's narcissistic. Parents that neglect their children is narcissistic, right? I'm not calling them narcissists. It's just, why do you neglect your children? You're wrapped up into your stuff, which is fine, but why'd you have children? Because I want it. I want children. I want someone to love me. And then I want to not give them as much time as I need to. It's narcissistic. I was emotionally abused by my mother. And when I tried to talk about this with my grandparents, they tell me, that's not abuse. You weren't abused. They call me a brat and rude. Can you confirm or deny if this is neglect? Does this seem narcissistic? Absolutely. And let's not forget, Nicole, this is a family cycle. You got involved with disordered people because you may have 1 or 2 disordered parents. Regardless, let's not even use the term. Screw all the terms. You had a very highly toxic relationship in your adult life, meaning your child relationships couldn't have been healthy. And that's your parents. Where do your parents come from? Their parents. We can only be as good of a parent as our parents were, maybe a little better, until we learn more, right? Or as parents usually teach their children what they know, typically. They try to even be better. Your grandparents are sick, obviously. They raised a sick person, and this sick person raised you. I'm glad you're stopping this cycle now. If you have children, I'm glad you don't treat them the same, or if you're going to have children, I hope you can teach them what you were not taught. To tell someone that that's not abuse and you weren't abused is absolute denial. And there's probably something more psychologically to that, meaning they don't just not like you. They want to dismiss your feelings and emotions, which is total neglect, big time. But they don't want to address the issue of their child being bad. That's narcissistic. If they can't accept that their child isn't perfect, right? That's what they're doing. My child wouldn't do that to you. My child's great. Why? Because I'm their parents. That's all they care about. Your parent is an extension of them. And they didn't let your parent have autonomy. And they're doing it to you. No autonomous. Who cares how you feel? Think and feel like they do. That's all that matters to them. Total denying and neglect. Totally. And it's a family cycle. One of your parents came from them. Obviously, huh? God's servant in Texas. Hello, God's servant. What can a person do when an ex of almost 30 years has conducted a smear campaign with our 3 grown children, telling them the divorce was all my fault? Nothing. Not really. I'm sorry. He is the one who remarried and said he wanted the divorce more than once. I get it. You know, it doesn't matter. He could be the worst person in the world. What can you do? What can you do? Your children are grown. You can be consistent. You can not let your children hurt you. Not accept that. Stop listening to what their father says. Stop looking. You don't want to hear it. Anyone telling you? Don't tell me. If your children can't stop mistreating you, you separate yourself from them. They're adults now. And if we messed up, we made a mistake, you may not be able to fix this one. I don't know. I'm not saying it's all your fault. I'm saying if you made a mistake and it's, there's not much you can do now. You can treat them with love, no matter what you do. You can write them a letter, tell them how much you love them, how much you need them, how important they are in your life, but you will not be mistreated by them. You can certainly tell them the truth about their father, find out what disorder he has, or just say, let them know he has a personality disorder, and this is what that means. That means you cannot live with them. You cannot have a successful relationship with him. You will suffer, like I did, like you have. I'm sorry. Best thing I could say, take care of number 1. You. You are number 1. Take care of number 1 and stay number 1. Don't lower yourself below your children. You don't owe them a thing anymore. Okay? Get help. Talk. Feel better about yourself. Start gaining confidence so that you can know how to treat them. There's a better way to handle your children, to not let this get out of hand and get worse. Okay? And most professionals will tell you how to do that. Okay? Good luck. I'm so sorry, Mom. One last question. Perfect. Let's get through it. Masca Prep from St. Hyacinthe, Quebec. Another Quebecan. I don't know if that's what you say. I'm a 48-year-old woman and only child of a narcissistic father and borderline mother. Oh my God. Can you give me some advice on how not to feel guilty that I have abandoned my elderly parents in their last years? Grieve. Start grieving. It's a process. Begin it. Guilt is a part of it. You already are. Good. Find out what the stages are and start expressing these and talking. Understand everything. Sorry, number 2, understand everything. And number 3, have good relationships now. That is the key. I promise. I promise. You said you're in a marriage now that I think you said was good. Good for you. Good for you. That's probably helping you, giving you strength to do this, isn't it? See that? Start really focusing on the quality of your relationships with other people. Make them better, and this will feel better. Friends and family, besides just talking and apologizing, friends and family alleviates guilt and shame just by having good relationships. Saying, I had a bad one here, but I have good ones now. Instead of, I've had only bad ones and I have none now. Okay? Huge difference. Thank you all. That's it. That's it. Please support me. Please. I beg you. Subscribe, like the video, or dislike it. That helps. Doesn't matter. Comment, ask questions, post this. Thank you all. Love yourself first. I'll see you next week.